Good morning, Wrightville. Happy Friday. Today is Fun Friday, so we have some fun things going on. I just want to make sure this is recording. I'm still learning this. Hopefully you watched the one yesterday and it worked, and it looks like it's being recorded, so I think it's working. So I'm going to jump right into where we need to be. If you go to your Google Drive, you click on your waffle, and you scroll down to Google Classroom. It's hiding behind my picture, but you know what it looks like. And today is Fun Friday. My screen's going to look a little bit different just because it's the teacher side. So let me make a few clicks. You're going to go in Homeroom Classroom. I changed the background today. I was trying to find a better picture of our class that showed up better, but I'm still working on that. Just something minor. Okay. So this is our class for today, and it says Happy Friday. We made it through our first week of online learning. Woohoo! I'm super excited about the progress we made and the work everybody's been doing. My gosh, your work has been amazing. I'm super excited to see there's about 13 of us on there doing it. I'm hoping to get the rest of us going. And then I have some of you, I want to share some of the things you wrote and that you did. Your idioms were wonderful. Your doing your See Think Wonder. Some of you went way beyond what was literal, and you really put yourself in there like you were thinking about and talking as if you were really in the picture of Boise's past. So that was great to read. And then on the ecosystems, the parts of the ecosystems, the consumers, the decomposers, the producers, carnivores, omnivores, you guys did amazing. And some of those I want to share. There were about 4 people that went even above and beyond and added the pictures in to help the evidence piece. So thank you for working so hard and doing such a great job. Today should be a fun one. We're going to do a quick community corner, and we have a listening activity. And then I have something very cool that it's a kind of a 2-part. You'll work on it this week and you'll work on it next week. So let's get back to our directions on here. Hopefully you can see my screen, and right here it says, first of all, check your work that has been graded and returned back to you. The work you've turned in, I want you to look at it and check it and make any changes. Read the comments, make changes, make it better. We can always do better. We can always take suggestions and make our work better. And you'll notice your grade on it. If you make those changes, your grade will improve. Some of you did the extra credit, so you'll see your score is beyond 100%. Some of you got 150%. So I do not have all of it done. I'm still learning how to do this, and I'm getting closer. I have all of Mondays and Tuesdays and part of Wednesdays graded. So everybody should have something to look back at and correct. And then today I'll work really hard to get Wednesday and all of Thursday done. So double check those for me. That's your first task. When you're finished with that task, then you can watch the Community Corner video, which is what we are going to be doing here in just a minute, and then watch your flipped classroom video. Those are all down below. So if I scroll down below, here I see my Community Corner slideshow, and I'll have the video in there. Actually, I'm just going to do it all together. Let's just go through this together. If you want to skip this part, you can. You don't have to watch it, but there's some really cool facts in here. Now, I tried videoing this before, and it didn't do so well, so I'm not sure if it went out that last time I sent it. If I did, this is repeated information, and you don't need to watch it. If it didn't go out and you weren't able to see it, there's some cool facts in here. So it's loading right now. So you don't even have to watch the link. I put it in there so you can share some of these facts with your parents, but it's supposed to start with a little bit of good and then morning. How are you today? I'm happy. Today is Friday. I'm tired from working all week. It's been a busy week just trying to figure this out. It's taken a lot of energy in making it work, but I sure couldn't have done it without all of your help. Some announcements, and again, this was in the video I did before, but I think when I attached it, it wasn't working. I was just thinking about how, we are making history right now in so many ways. One, we're making history with having to do online schooling at home for about 9 weeks total, all because of the coronavirus. I mean, 20, 30 years from now, you are going to be a huge part of history, not only in Boise, but in the whole world, because the whole world is experiencing this pandemic, this illness, this virus. And it's going to be in books. It's going to be talked about, just like we read about uh, World War I and World War II, and we read about things in history. Pretty soon, this event is going to be a part of history. And you're going to be saying, well, back in 2020, I remember when, and you're going to be talking about this like you're the one that lived it because you did. It's just crazy to me to think that we are a part of history on that. Another part of history was that crazy earthquake we had. I was looking it up and just doing a little research on it. And believe it or not, it said that we actually have 4 or 5 earthquakes a week here in Boise. They're just so small that you don't feel them. The one that we did have, it was, I believe they registered it when they measure how strong an earthquake is. It's kind of on a scale of 1 to 10, but it's called a Richter scale, and it goes from not very you can't really feel it, doesn't cause any damage, clear up to a 10 where it causes extreme damage. We were at a 6.5 magnitude. The way you measure it is called magnitude. When we're measuring the length of something, we use centimeters and inches. When we measure how much something weighs, like this, we use ounces. On a Richter scale, to measure an earthquake, they use magnitude. And we were at a 6.5. So imagine you have your 0 to 10, 5's in the middle, and we're on a 6.5. We're pushing towards that really serious causing damage end. So it was a pretty strong one. And I don't know if you remember, but when we were talking first at the beginning of the year about continents and how really the belief is with Pangea that our Earth used to be one huge piece of land. And then all of those plates underneath, the plate tectonics, were shifting and moving, and it broke that big piece of land apart, which formed our 7 continents. Those plates are still under each of our continents, and they're moving and shifting all the time. That's what causes these earthquakes. And the ones that we have 4 or 5 times a week, we don't feel. They're probably clear down here at this end of the Richter scale, maybe a 1, 2, or 3. And so one of the main plate lines runs through Yellowstone. It runs through Montana, Wyoming, Idaho, and it's through Yellowstone is where the main center part of it is, and that's where this main earthquake was. So in the main part of Yellowstone, they felt a higher magnitude than we did, but it stretched all the way along that plate, clear down here to Idaho, where we felt a 6.5 magnitude. So I don't know about you, but I saw my hardwood floor was kind of rippling. And I know you probably saw lights swinging and things moving. I at first thought, I felt like I was on a boat. I felt like my house was on this kind of a boat and this uneven water. It was just the craziest feeling. But again, we just experienced history. There's only been one other earthquake in 1983 that was stronger than the one we just experienced. It was a 6.9. That's not that much stronger than what we experienced. So right there, we just made history again. And then the other thing I was thinking about with making history, and I mentioned it earlier, is just the fact that we've done this online schooling. Never in our whole country has anybody ever had to have the schools and businesses ever been closed down. And we're making history. Just crazy to think about. So I'm not going to show you the Google Classroom pages to communicate on. I can click into those really quick, I guess. But hopefully most of you, I think you're probably so busy with schoolwork that I don't know if you'd even have time. But if you go into our homework class and you scroll down here to the bottom, This is how we were all talking before our online school started. We have some Wrightville connection pages, some places that you can go to add photos in. I don't want you to forget about these. I want you to keep doing them. Keep journaling on them, talking. I will next week start getting back in there and journaling back to you. This week I've been focusing on our classroom. But I want everybody to, keep going in there, keep adding to it, because that's kind of our journal of history, our journal of time living through this. So I think it's important to have those pictures on there. Any of the things you do during online schooling, have your mom and dad take a picture, put it on there. That slideshow is going to be part of our history, and it's going to be part of what did we do during this time. So start going back to those. They're in the homework, Google Classroom. So I wanted to share that with you, but then let's get back on. A happy late birthday while we've been gone, and I need to double check our roster because I'm sure we've had more. While we've been gone, Blake, Liliana, and Miss Sophie all had birthdays. So the three of you, and if anyone else I've missed, I'll double check for next week's Community Corner. If I've missed your birthday or we weren't there or you had a half birthday, I will make sure that when I go into the classroom to bag up all of your items that are in your locker, I will make sure to get your birthday present put in there so that you have that. I'm incredibly sad that we won't have time to do Heads Up 7-Up and celebrate your birthday with you, but I want to make sure you get your gift because there's something special in there for me that I hope that you keep for a long, long, long time, if not forever. So let's see here. All right, here's our fun fact for the day. Now, I'm not quite as great as our awesome fun fact quote, word of the day, and national holiday people, Liliana, Drew, Noah, and Lindsay. So I'll try my best. Those are big shoes to fill. Kind of an idiom there. I don't actually have to fill their shoes because my shoes are bigger than theirs. It just means that they did such a great job in their role and doing their job. It's going to be tough for me to do as good of a job, but I'll try. So our facts for the next couple weeks are going to have to be due about the human body. And I thought this one was interesting. Each person sheds, that means it falls off, 22 kilograms of skin in a lifetime. So when we talk about kilograms, that's another way to measure something. When we talk about weight, we use pounds. Another way to measure weight is in kilograms. And so it says that we lose 22 kilograms. Now that doesn't sound like much, but let's look into that a little bit further. 22 kilograms, if you take kilograms and you calculated it out and you found the equivalent in pounds, notice kilograms right here, kg, that's kilograms, lbs, that's pounds. That's usually what we measure things like when we stand on a scale. So 22 kilograms is the same as 48.5 pounds. What? Now think about 48.5 pounds. What weighs 48.5 pounds? A bale of hay. See this bale of hay right here? I don't know if you've ever tried to lift one of these babies, but they're heavy. They are about 50 pounds. A large bag of dog food. This one's 33 pounds right here. So we can imagine 50. It's going to be bigger than a large bag of dog food. When I try to lift those in the cart, those are heavy. Standing on a scale. I want you, when we get done, to stand on a scale because I'm guessing that most of you are right around 50 pounds. And that's how much skin we shed, just one of us, in a lifetime. So me and all of you, which is 26 people, shed 48.5 pounds of skin that falls off us in a lifetime. So one, I was amazed by that. Two, I was kind of grossed out thinking, gosh, with all 26 of us in the room, just think about how much skin we're losing every day just falling off in the classroom. A lot of times it just doesn't fall off on the floor. It falls off in our clothes and then it gets washed in the wash machine. So a lot of times but basically what I want you to think about is your skin's always falling off. We're kind of like reptiles in that way, I guess, isn't it? And so skin is a living organ. Did you know that? You've got your heart, you've got your lungs, your liver, your kidneys. Those are all organs that are living. Your skin is living also. As it falls off, it grows new skin. All right. Thought this was interesting. I'm going to click on this little link here. I thought this was kind of fun. You can put in the weight, and we're going to do 22 kilograms because that's kind of what we're looking at. Or let's do 50 pounds. 50 pounds because it was about 50 pounds. And then it's really cool because it gives you things that weigh about 50 pounds. Let me see if it's going to let me do that. Select a mass unit. I did. And there was an arrow on it before that went to the next screen that showed me things that were about 50 pounds. No, not that. Oh, it's not letting me because it's saying the link isn't secure. I'm just going to put this in a new tab. And let's see if we can get it to show us because it's pretty cool. It was interesting to realize that that's how much. I think this picture's like right in the way, and I don't know if I'm able. Oh, I am able to move it. Look at that. So I can hit go. All right. Kind of fun here. Let's look and see what we have. So if you weigh 50 pounds, that's like 227 blueberry muffins. That's a lot of blueberry muffins. If you weigh 50 pounds, it would take 8. Ooh, gosh, here's our big number. We have our hundreds and our thousands. And we have our ones, tens, hundreds. Here's our thousands. Here's our millions. And now we go into billions. So we have 8,278,837,883 people you to do the weight of the Empire State Building. Wow. So for the Empire State Building, it would take 8,278,837,883 people to weigh as much as the Empire State Building, which is cool, but that's not our 50 that we were doing. Maybe these just give different weights. If you were like a T-Rex, according to your weight, you would have a brain of 2 grams. 2 grams is like little teeny tiny. This is for your weight of 50 pounds. Oh, that's right. That makes sense now. You weigh like 32 iPads. So your weight of 50 pounds, or how much skin we lose, 50 pounds, is about the same as 32 iPads. And at 50 pounds, your weight is like 63 masks and snorkels. That's that pile right there of 63 masks and snorkels is about how much you weigh, and it's about how much skin we each lose just individually in a lifetime. And at 50 pounds of our weight, or close to 50, and 50 pounds of skin that we shed, we weigh as much as a baby polar bear at the gravity of the moon. So kind of a fun website. You can copy and paste that link and put in some different weights, put in mom and dad's weights, see what they weigh the most of. So I thought that was kind of fun. All right, back to our community corner. National Day. It's National Laundry Day. Don't tell mom and dad because you might have to help with the laundry. That would be awfully nice of you if you did. You could at least sort them into lights and darks. Quote, life doesn't get easier. We know that because this hasn't gotten easier, and it's not more forgiving, meaning it doesn't give us more chances. The difference is we get stronger and more resilient. So even though life doesn't get easier, it actually gets harder as we grow up, and we actually don't get as many chances as we do in 3rd grade. Instead, we ourselves get stronger and we get more resilient. Resilient, remember that word? That means that we can get through things. We work harder, we try harder, we keep going, we don't give up, and we don't let things bring us down. We can get through them. So life doesn't get easier. It's just that we adapt and we figure out ways to get through it. Kind of like this whole virus thing. We've worked together really well as a community in getting through it. Word of the day. You'll see up at the top, it's pronounced gull. A gully washer. Excuse me, this was an unusual word, I thought. We have these all the time in Idaho. It's a noun, and it's actually a very quick, heavy rainstorm. You know how sometimes in Idaho, we just had it the other day, where it'll be sunny, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, we just had this quick rainstorm for like 5 minutes. It's a gully washer. Who would have thought? And then in that same day, we have snow. And then in that same day, we have a thunderstorm that lasts for an hour. Idaho is strange like that. But basically, a gully washer is one of those really quick, here's a sunny day, and then all of a sudden, whew, ton of rain for 5 minutes, and then it's sunny again. It's called a gully washer. I thought that was a fun word. All right. For our activity today, we're going to do letter chase. So for this activity, you will need a piece of paper, a piece of blank paper, or the back of something, a back of recycled paper. But you're going to need to draw an array that is 3 rows with 10 in each row. So a 3 by 10 grid. I have down here attached a 3 by 10 grid. Let me get to our homework classroom. I've attached that down below. I thought I had this opened up, but maybe not. Let me get it open. All right. Down below, I've attached. Oh my goodness, that was yesterday, so it's not Thursday, it's Friday. What am I thinking? It's Fun Friday. Our Fun Friday, you're going to love what you're going to do. I have a challenge for you. Oh, I forgot. This I have not posted yet, so I need to go up here, and I think I could probably post this now. So let me get this posted. And it's thinking, and it's assigning. So down in the bottom, I do have a grid that I made that if you have a printer at home, you can print it off and use that, but you don't need to. You can actually, when I go in here and I click on my Friday activities, you can actually just get a blank piece of paper or the back of a piece of paper and make your own. But I'll show you what it looks like. Does anybody else have allergies? Mine have been going crazy. Okay, here's your letter chase. It's down here. You can click on this and print it off and use this for our listening activity. Or you can see how it's 10 across. There's 10 and 10 and 10. It's still thinking. And there's 3 of those, 3 rows of those. That's what you'll need is 3 rows. I'm going to move you guys up here or move me up there. So that's what you'll need. Okay. So you'll need that for the activity, for the listening activity. If you don't have that, pause this video, go get it drawn, and then come back and start the video and I'll go over the directions for it. Okay. Remember on the listening activity, I read the directions 2 times, so you have to be very careful and listen closely. Listen to the full set of directions. And remember, it helps to put your finger where you hear you're going to be drawing, and don't draw, keep listening to the rest of the directions. Okay, so I'm trying to figure out here the best way to do this, and I'm actually going to, because I have your directions over here, but I don't want you to see the directions because then you're not practicing your listening. So here's what I'm going to do. I am going to go, here's what your paper should look like. While you make that, I'm going to go grab the directions really quick. All right, so I'm just going to zip out of the room, grab those directions, and you make your grid, and I shall be right back. Okay, I'm back. Figured out the best way to do this. If you don't want to do the listening activity, you can just fast forward it through this part. You can just move the little bar down at the bottom of your screen on your video and just move it forward, and you don't have to do this. If you do want to do it, great. Okay. So, I don't like this computer as well, but we'll make it work. The keyboard sticks. All right. So this is called Letter Chase. And your first set of directions, hopefully you have this grid drawn. Like I said, if not, freeze it, because I'll still be there. I'm not going to go anywhere. Just pulling up here the directions. All right, this one seemed like a fun one, and I don't think we've done this one. When I was gone with back surgery, it was hard to remember which ones you did. So hopefully this wasn't one of them. All right, I think I'm almost there. Sometimes I get to scrolling so fast. Thanks for being patient. Goodness, it is a ways down. All right, I think I passed it, sorry. I think I was busy talking and not paying attention. Should have had this pulled up earlier. I'd pause the video, but I don't know how to pause it when I'm making it, so you're kind of stuck with me figuring this out. Ah, found it. Okay, here we go. Are you ready for a letter chase game? I'm not sure you're going to agree with what the message has to say, but we'll see. Let's go over the rules. Remember, I will be giving you the clues, which you will use to figure out which letters go in which boxes. By the time you are finished, you will have spelled out a sentence. All you will need today is a pencil and a piece of paper, and let's get started. I do need you to number these 1 through 30. Just number them in the bottom corner. So in the bottom right-hand corner down here, number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4. So across you should have 10, and then do the next one, 20, 30. So pause the video and do that. Once you have that done, turn the video back on and you can hear the directions. Here we go. What is the first letter in the name of something that shines in the sky during the day? Put that letter in box 17. And maybe I'll just do mine while you're doing yours, and we'll see if we come up with the same one. I'll read it one more time. What is the first letter in the name of something that shines in the sky during the day? Put the letter in box 17. Okay. Direction number 2. you need a lowercase b, a lowercase k, and 2 of these letters in the middle to spell the word book. Put one of those middle letters in box 15. Ooh, that's a tricky one. So find your box 15 and then listen again to directions. You need a B and a K and 2 of these letters in the middle to spell the word book. Put one of those missing letters in the middle in box 15. Okay. What sound does a cow make? Put the first letter of the word we use to describe the sound of a cow in box 24. I'll read that one again. What sound does a cow make? Put the first letter of the word we use to describe the sound of a cow in box 24. What letter of the alphabet looks most like a chicken, like what a chicken lays? Put it in box 27. What letter of the alphabet looks most like what a chicken lays? Put that in box 27. Next one, here's an easy one. Put the first letter of the alphabet in boxes 2 and 10. Put the first letter of the alphabet in boxes 2 and 10. Oops, the chicken has done it again. It has laid another of those things that look like a letter. Put the letter in box 9. I'll read it again. Oops, the chicken has done it again. It has laid another one of those things that looks like a letter. Put the letter in box 9. When you wash your hands at a sink, you often see 2 letters. One is a C. What is the other letter? Put it in box 22. I'll read that one again. When you wash your hands at the sink, you often see 2 letters. One is a C. What is the other letter? Put it in box 22. Next direction. Remember those round things that the chicken laid? It has happened again in boxes 19 and 23. I'll read it again. Remember those round things that the chicken laid? It's happened again. Put one in box 19 and box 23. Put the 5th letter of the alphabet in box 6. I have to count. In box 6. Okay? I'll read that one again. Put the 5th letter of the alphabet in box 6. Next direction. Which letter of the alphabet comes between C and E? Put that letter in box 11. Which letter of the alphabet comes between C and E? Put it in box 11. What is the first letter in the name of the meal you eat at school in the middle of the day? Put it in box 14. What is the first letter of the meal you eat at school in the middle of the day? Put it in box 14. Next one. One letter of the alphabet looks like a letter M, which has been turned upside down. Which one is it? Put that letter in box 26. I'll read it again. One letter of the alphabet looks like an M, but is turned upside down. Which one is it? Put it in box 26. Oh my, I hear that chicken again. This time it has hopped into box 4 and laid another one of those shapes that looks like an alphabet letter. Oh my, I hear that chicken again. This time it's hopped into box 4 and laid another one of those shapes that looks like a letter. Put it in box 4. Next set of directions, think of a little mound of dirt with lots of insects crawling around. Sometimes those insects come to picnics. What is the first letter in their name? Put it in box 21. Think of a little mound of dirt with lots of insects crawling around. Sometimes these insects come to picnics. What is the first letter in their name? Put it in box 21. What is the first letter in the word that means the opposite of true? Put it in box 20. What is the first letter in the name or in the word that means the opposite of true? That would be an antonym of true. Put it in box 8. Oh, I'm sorry, box 20. I lied. I'll reread that one. What is the first letter in the word that means the opposite of true? It's the antonym for true. Put the first letter in box 20. Speaking of opposites, what is the first letter in the word that is opposite of short? Put it in box 8. What is the first letter in the word? What is the first letter in the word that is the opposite of short? Put it in box 8. What is the first letter in the name of the room where you find a stove and a refrigerator? Put it in box 29. Oops, can't spell today because I used the wrong letter. Let me read that again. You know that it's in box 29, so you might put your finger there. And it is, what is the first letter in the name of the room where you find a stove and a refrigerator? Put that first letter in box 29. You see a lot of red hearts on this special day. What is the first letter in the name of this day? Put it in box 5. You see a lot of red hearts on this special day. What is the first letter in the name of this day? Put it in box 5. Excuse me. What is the first letter in the 3-letter word for something water becomes when it freezes? Put that letter in box 1. Let me read that again. You know it's box 1. You might want to put your finger there. What is the first letter in the 3-letter word for something water becomes when it freezes? Put that first letter in box 1. Next, if I were saying the alphabet over and over, which letter would I say each time after I said the letter Z? Put that letter in boxes 7, 13, 18, and 30. If I were saying the alphabet over and over again, which letter would I say each time after I say the letter Z? A, B, C, D, E, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Z. Put that letter in box 7, 13, 18. That's kind of confusing. Did you guys figure that out? Is it just early in the morning for me? Now I lost it. Oh, Lord. Oh, they're talking about if you were to repeat the alphabet. So what comes after Z, you repeat the alphabet and start over because you're saying the alphabet over and over and over again. So if I say the alphabet over and over and over again, I repeat it. What letter comes after Z? It goes in box 7, 13, 18, and 30. Phew, that was a tricky one. Cackle, cackle, put another one of those round things in box 12. The U.S. flag is blue, white, and another color, which starts with this letter. Put it in box 28. The U.S. flag is blue, white, and another color, which starts with this letter. Put it in box 28. Almost there, 3 left. I see these every time you give me a big smile. They stay nice and white if you brush them. Put the first letter in their name in box 16. So you know it's box 16. Here's the directions. I see these every time you give me a big smile. They stay nice and white if you brush them. Put the first letter in their name in box 16. If you spelled the word elbow the way it sounds, you would probably use this letter first. Put it in box 3. Elbow. Elbow. So if I spelled elbow the way it sounds, like if I was in kindergarten, I know that elbow actually starts with an E, but when I sound it out, what does it start with? Put that letter in box 3. Elbow. What is it that chicken lays? They lay something that looks like a letter, but of course, the thing they lay has a name. What is the first letter in that name? Put it in box 25. So what is it that chickens lay? They lay something that looks like a letter, but of course, the thing they lay has a name. What is the first letter in the name of what they lay? Put it in box 25. Now, we've spelled a message, but there seems to be something wrong. There are some letters that don't belong. Actually, there's just one letter. One letter repeated several times. That is getting in the way of the message. Can you figure out what letter is getting in the way of the message? And when you do, cross it out. It's the same letter that we don't need, and it's repeated in there several times. And if you cross it out, then it gives us a full message. It's repeated several times, and if I take that letter out, then I have a message, and that message is, I crossed out all my A's. I love to do lots of homework. So they did say, I don't know how true this puzzle is in this statement, but if that's what you ended up with, great listening, you did it correctly. All right, moving on. Thanks for playing. So our last activity, if we go to our homework Friday classroom, we just did the flip classroom video, and we did our listening activity, and we're on to number 4. Number 4 has 2 parts. You're going to design a dream home for St. Jude's Dream Home Giveaway. I'm not sure how many of you are familiar with this, but here in Boise, I couldn't find a video on Boise's, so I found a video, but it's in another state, Indiana maybe, but Boise has one also. And what happens is St. Jude's is a hospital that cares for children that have diseases, cancer, leukemia, and parents, when they have kiddos that come down with these very serious diseases, they go to St. Jude's Hospital, and they don't have to pay a dime. The parents can stay there. They have housing for them. The kids are taken care of by the doctors there. They receive treatment. And as patients, the parents don't have to pay for any of that. It's all paid for through donations. That's what St. Jude's is known for. They're known for, they say that they want the kiddo that's sick and the parents to be able to just spend time together and not have to be apart and not have to worry about money and how they're going to pay their bills. They get all that taken care of through St. Jude's. St. Jude's pays for that for them. And they don't just have money to do that. They do that through donations. One of the big fundraisers that they do is, I don't know if every state does it. I do know Boise does it. I don't know if every city does it. But a builder they'll build a house, and people in the community, businesses, will do things in the house for free. Like somebody will come in and do all the flooring for free. Somebody will come in and donate all the carpet and lay all the carpet down. Lowe's will come in or Home Depot and do all the paint. So different companies come together to donate their resources and their skills, and basically they build a dream home that they sell raffle tickets for. And the raffle tickets are $100. You can buy as many as you want. And then they draw one raffle ticket out at the end of the drawing. And whoever's raffle ticket they draw out wins that house for free. All the money that is raised by people buying raffle tickets is what is donated to St. Jude's Hospital. So St. Jude's Hospital takes care of families and kids so that they don't have to pay for anything and stress about money. And they do that by one of their big fundraisers, like I said, is communities come together and build a house for free, basically. It costs the community money, it costs the businesses money, but they donate. And then that house is built and people buy tickets. Like I could buy 5 tickets for $500. It just takes one ticket to win. If my ticket's drawn out, I have a brand new house that I don't have to pay anything for. I own it and it only cost me $500. Now, you have to be very lucky. Some people buy 10 tickets. And if they're $100 each, 10 tickets, if I use my zeros trick very quickly, my zeros trick, if I have 100 tickets times 10, can you see it on there? If I use my zeros trick and I do 1 times 1 is 1, and I have 1, 2, 3 zeros, 1, 2, 3 zeros, that means my 10 tickets are going to cost me $1,000. So I buy $1,000 worth of tickets, and hopefully one of mine gets drawn, and I win the house. So anyways, Boise does this. Every year a new house is built, and every year they draw a ticket out for who's going to win the house. So what I want you to do is I want you to watch the video down here so you can learn a little bit more about it. And then your job is, if you click on, it says view the blueprint slideshow. That's right here. This goes through and it talks a little bit about the dream home, because you have been hired to design the plans for the next St. Jude's dream home. And the blueprint plans are what you're going to draw today. So when you do this, you will want to get some paper. So you may, if you have some blank paper, or you can use the back of something. Ask mom and dad. If you have some blank paper, great. If you don't, if you have this, that's fine. Just turn it over and now you have blank. You'll probably want 4 of them, and you'll probably want to tape them together like this. So tape these 2 together and then tape 2 more together beneath it like this. So when you're done taping, you have a big, huge piece of paper of 4 of them taped together, but it's one big, huge one. Does that make sense? I'm missing this one here in the corner. So tape those together so that you can use this to draw your blueprints on. And you may be wondering, what is a blueprint? Well, that's what this slideshow tells you about. I'm just going to flip through it fast. I want you to take time and go through it, but I want to show you these are examples of blueprints. Take some time to read them, see how they draw them, because you're drawing a blueprint to turn in for the next St. Jude's dream home. Notice how they do the bathrooms. Notice how they do the bedrooms. Notice how they label them. Notice how they have the different designs to show what the rooms are. At the end of this slideshow, these are all different blueprints. I want you to study them. Here's where you'll be using these. Here are the different things. This is if you want a single sink. This is if you want a double sink with 2 sinks next to each other, like some of your bathrooms may have that. This is what, if you're going to put a washer and dryer, where you're going to put it, that's how you draw it in your house. Here's a door, an interior door going into the house, exterior going out. These are what the windows look like. Here's what the fireplace looks like. And if you're drawing a bathroom and you want to show where the tub is and where the toilet is, these are all the symbols that show where those things are. So using these symbols, I want you to draw your dream home. After you study the dream home here, when you draw your dream home, draw the yard. In your dream home, think about how many bedrooms are you going to have? Are you going to have a game room? Are you going to have a video room, like a movie theater room? This is a dream home that people are going to buy raffle tickets for. So you want your plan to be chosen, and you want it to be the house that people will want to buy 200 raffle tickets for, because that's all earning money for St. Jude's. Will it have an office? Does it have a kitchen? Does it have a living room? Does it have a dining room? Does it have an art room? Think of things that you enjoy, and then think of would other families enjoy it. Does it have a kids' playroom, a toy room? Does it have a Lego room? Does it have a ceramics room? Does it have a carpentry room where you can build wood shop stuff? Think about things that you enjoy for your hobby and add those to your house. In the backyard, does it have a trampoline? Does it have a swimming pool? Does it have a patio? Does it have a climbing wall? Add anything you can to make your house be the one that's chosen to sell for this dream house. If you need to add on more than 4 sheets of paper and add on to make it a little bit bigger, you sure can. Now, you're not going to draw. If I have 4 of these together, excuse me, obviously I'm not going to draw my bedroom as one big, huge bedroom, because they all have to fit on this paper. If I go back and I look at the blueprints, these rooms are very small the way they drew them. They don't draw them actual size. So they draw them just big enough to add the details in, like the closet and the bathroom, the toilet and the sink, and where the door is. And these are my windows here. So they add those in. Here's a patio off to the side with doors going out to it. So make sure you're not drawing a big, huge one. Make sure you're drawing them smaller. But make sure also that you're thinking about, okay, I don't want to have a bedroom that's bigger than my living room, because living room is where we spend most of our time. So your living room, it should be scaled with your bedroom being smaller, and your bathroom probably being smaller than your bedroom. I would love to have a bathroom the size of my bedroom, but you want to think about those things. I shouldn't see a blueprint because it won't get chosen if you have a bathroom that's huge and your kitchen is teeny tiny and your bedroom's teeny tiny compared to the huge bathroom. Are most people going to want a bathroom that size? Probably not. So think about that. Draw your blueprints, add in the details, label the rooms, and on here it does say, this is where we're going to work on this next week. So I don't want you to do this part. I don't want you, oops, let's find the directions. There at the end, it says you have been hired by a local architectural firm. Those are architects are ones that actually draw the designs for houses. They draw the blueprints to design a home for St. Jude's home raffle giveaway. As part of your contract, you will be responsible for the total square footage of your house. That part right there is what we're going to talk about next week. That's actually going to be our math challenge. So I'll give you more directions on this. This part you do not need to worry about today. Just draw your house, label it, get the details in. Don't worry about the square footage, the carpet, the tile, or the hardwood. I don't want you to worry about any of that. That's next week's, okay? And then design the yard with it. Is it going to have a tree fort in the backyard? Does it have a doll house? Does it have a shed? Does it have a kids' playhouse? So I think that'll be a fun activity for you today. That is your last activity. One last thing I want you to do is, and when you're done with your blueprint, if you want to take a picture and send it to me, I would love to see it, but keep a hold of it because you'll need it for next Friday. And then last but not least, thank your parents. They really worked hard this week to get all this working, spend time with you, help you get it figured out. And this hasn't been easy for them. It's been a lot, and it hasn't been easy for you. I know. But we're super resilient, right? Resiliency. We can get through anything together. So please, please, please give them a big hug and just tell them, Mom, Dad, thanks. Thanks for helping me do this. Okay? All right. I love you guys. Miss you guys. I hope the video helped. Sorry it was kind of long. You know me. I love to talk. And I can't wait to see your blueprints in your houses. Have a happy, fun Friday. Bye, guys. Love you.